There we go. And then they're basically Bernardo and Chino and Pepe and Indio are coming in to figure out the rules of the fight, right? So we left the last scene at the end of Cool with the shark guys and the shark ladies, right? So we're gonna follow some of these stage notes in the script, and some of them were not. So I'll let you know which ones we are and which ones we're not. Oh, here's Javier. Okay. Do we have Christian yet? Christine, can you check on that?
Yeah.
All right, so at the end of Cool, it says this leads into a frenetic dance in which the boys and girls release their emotions and get cool. It finishes, starts again when a jet bounces in with the gang whistle. Everyone but Riff and Velma stop dancing. Well, we're not going to do that. The song ends, and then the Jets are going to move back to stage right where they started that scene. And then Bernardo's and his gang are coming in. All right, tension. But Riff dances a moment long. No, we're not doing that. Then he pats Velma on her behind. No, we're not doing that. However, Graziella and Velma are going to exit at this point when Bernardo comes in. Anybody's is there, and I believe, yeah, anybody's was in Cool. So they're going to make their way out through the sharks. But just like it says in the notes, unlike the other girls, anybody shoves the sharks like a big tough man as she exits. Hey. All right, so that's kind of how this scene is set up. Okay. Oh, here's Joseph. Taco. Come here. Come down. All right, people are slowly trickling in. All right, I'm going to bring up the stage here. Oops, no, where am I going? Here. Oh, here's Christian. All right, and Zoe's with Joseph. All right, perfect. All right, so for the sharks, Doc's is set up something like that. It's basically just a flat, and how, as you saw in the video, there's an opening in this flat that's going to represent a counter. And so Doc is sometimes behind here, sometimes coming around. But that's basically how it's set up. And this is going to be the entrance right here for the sharks. All right, so the Jets ended up at the end of Cool there. Bernardo comes in. So this basically this scene is the sharks on this side, the Jets on this side, and there's a clear divided line between the two. Okay, so Riff says, set him up, Doc, Cokes all around. All right, so Doc, you're probably wondering where you or how you get into this scene, right? Because you've left, you've exited over here, right? So I don't know if there's going to be some sort of escape backstage to get off for Cool and then come back on. But I'm assuming there will be. And if there's not, that's what's going to happen anyway. Okay, so during Cool, you can go off stage. And then at the beginning of scene, you can come back in and be behind the counter there. Okay, set them up. Doc cooks all around. Bernardo says, let's get down. So basically what this is, right, is we have the Sharks, we have the Jets, and then Doc's in the middle here at the counter, behind the counter. Actually, more back here, right? All right, good. So Bernardo hasn't learned the procedures of gracious living, all right? I don't like you either, so cut it. Kick it, Doc. So Riff is trying to get rid of Doc. Boys, couldn't you maybe talk it? Kick it. Okay, so at that point, Doc leaves. Okay, so Doc, you'll just go stand over here again until you enter. So Doc exits behind the counter. The two gangs take place behind their leaders. Okay, so that's basically how you were already. So we challenge you to a rumble all out once and for all, except, Bernardo says, on what terms? Whatever terms you call them, buddy boy, you crossed the line once too often. You started it. Who jumped Arab this afternoon? Who jumped me the first day I moved here? Okay, so on Bernardo's line, who jumped me the first day I moved here? I would like a dramatic beat there. Okay. Because that's significant. That's a significant line there. So big pause. Because no one really knows how to answer it. Like, right? So why did they jump Bernardo the first day? Right? Because of his race. And that's what we want to sink in for that moment. Action's going to come up with a line later. So action, that's going to be your line to pause on, right? So you'll come in a few beats later. And I want it to sound like a pretty lame excuse is what it is. Well, who asked you to move here, right? You don't, there's, that argument doesn't really hold water, okay? And I want it to sound like that, okay? Pepe says, who asked you? Snowboy says, move where you wanted. So on these lines, when you guys are going back and forth all the way until Riff's line where he says time. Okay, so Snowboy, Arab, Action, Pepe, Indio. You have the two distinct groups there. But I want, without like breaking your group, on those lines, I want you to kind of step forward or lean forward, just an indication that you have confidence behind what you're saying, okay? Yelling these things, okay? So move where you wanted, back where you came from, and so on and so forth, right? Bernardo says, we accept. Riff says, time, tomorrow, after dark, they shake, place, the park, the river, under the highway, they shake, weapon. And then this is Tony's entrance here. All right, so questions so far on that? Good. All right, once again, the doorbell tinkles as Tony bursts in yelling, hey, Doc. He's looking for Doc, right? He stops and then he sees the tension between the two gangs. And so then Tony, here's kind of what that's going to look like here. So so we've got the Jets, or excuse me, the Sharks there, the Jets there. Doc has left. Tony's going to come in, actually not that far. You're actually going to come in kind of behind, stay behind the Sharks, take a beat, and then notice what's going on. But after you say, hey, Doc. So you're saying, hey, Doc, as you enter, and then you notice what's going on, and then you stop short of passing the Sharks. and you're listening to them go back and forth about the weapons you call your challenge. Afraid to call sticks, rocks, poles, cans, bricks, bats. Tony's just standing there watching that. Clubs, chains, bottle. Okay, so then Tony's had enough. He steps into the middle here. So Tony, you'll cross up in between them. So you'll stand in the middle. So you'll cross up there and then face downstage, of course. And then you'll be talking to both groups at the same time. So bottles, knives, guns. All right, you're kind of chastising both of them. What a coop full of chickens. Action steps forward. Who you calling chicken? Every dog knows his own. And he says, I'm calling you a chicken. The big tough buddy boys who have to throw bricks, afraid to get close in, afraid to slug it out, afraid to use plain skin. Okay, again, he's talking to both groups. Baby John's line there, not even garbage. Action says, that ain't a rumble. Riff says, who says? Okay. And then on Tony's line, a rumble can be clinched. Hold on a second. A rumble can be clinched by a fair fight. If you have the guts to risk that, best man from each gang to slug it out. So Tony, I'd like a beat before each of these sentences, or in between each of these sentences. So a rumble can be clinched by a fair fight. If you have the guts to risk that, okay? With another beat. Best man from each gang to slug it out. Okay, you're taking authority here. So I want each of those lines to sink in. And again, you're talking to both groups.
You expecting anything? No. I'm not keeping. I'm not.
All right, so Bernardo's looking at Tony, said, I'd enjoy to risk that. Okay, fair fight. Pepe says, what? Action at the same time says no. And then Riff, the commanders say yes or no, fair fight. All right, they shake. In 2 minutes, you'll be like a fish after skinning. Your best man fights out. Okay, so on all those shake directions in the script here, you guys don't need to actually shake on this.
Oh, it's probably
okay? You're going to say it from your respective sides. All right, your best man fights our best man, and we pick him. But I thought we shook on it, Bernardo. Yes, I shook on it. Okay. And then action comes in. Look, Bernardo, if you want to change your mind, maybe we could all right. And then, so this is the point where we're going to realize that Shrank's coming in. So one of the sharks is going to whistle. Can any of the sharks whistle? Sharks. Gavin, you can whistle?
I'm not a shark. But
You're not a shark. Can any of the sharks whistle? We might just need to add that in as a sound cue.
Yeah. What kind of whistle did you want?
Just like a quick, like, just to like settle them all down. Like, dude, Shrank's coming in, so be cool, right? Yeah, something like that's fine. Just so everybody can hear it and react to it. All right, so you guys all get that cue, okay?
Question.
Yeah.
It says Doc comes in, but earlier it said Doc comes in. So am I still in, or did I go away again? It says Doc comes in like 2 times in a row.
Where did it say Doc comes in before the bottom of page 57?
Tony came in, called me, hey Doc. Riff said weapons, and then I enter. Then they do their little discussion of weapons, and then Lieutenant Shrank comes in.
Oh, you're right. It does say Doc enters after weapons. No, I don't want you to enter there. I want you to wait until this on the bottom of 57.
Okay.
That work?
Cool. Yes, perfect.
Okay. All right. Jet girls, I don't think you really need to be here for the rest of this. That was pretty much all of your blocking. You move from center stage from cool and then exit past the sharks, and that's it. So any shark girls who are here, and then yeah, that just occurred to me. The very simple blocking for you guys tonight.
I don't think any of the shark girls are on here.
Okay, maybe I already told them that.
Yeah. No, none of us. It's just the jet girls. Well,
No, I meant shark girls. I mean jet girls. The ones who were in cool.
okay, so Allie and Carly can go then. Correct?
The ones that were in cool. Yeah, just so long as you know. Yeah, so when you exit, when Bernardo comes in, you're, as the script says, slithering past them. You're not really interested in touching them, right? And then anybody's breaks through them, very macho-like. And then that's about it. Good. All right. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, ladies. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right. So Doc's going to come in after he hears Frank come in. So again, the whistle is going to cue you all to, well, for lack of a better word, be normal. Okay. So what that means is you don't want Shrank knowing your business about any of this. So you have to make it look as if you are not planning anything. Okay. And that you're all buddies. Right. So the Jets were over here. The Sharks were over here. Tony was in the middle. All right. So on that whistle, you're all just going to move position. So some of the Jets will come over here. Some of the Sharks will move over here. Some will sit. Some will. So just a good mix at that point. It doesn't have to be precise, but just so long as it's not looking like you're two competing sides. So just a couple of you switch. So let's just say Arab in action will go to stage a little bit stage right, and then Pepe and Indio will move stage left. So we just have some crossing right there as soon as they hear that whistle. Okay, and on that whistle, it's not like an immediate move. It's like you hear the whistle, everyone stops for a beat, and then moves. Okay, because we've got to understand that you know that cue. Okay, and you're thinking about it for a split second before. Oh, okay, that means Shrank's coming. All right, and then Shrank comes in, and then that's also going to cue Doc to come back in, but still behind that counter.
Okay.
So during the following, the gangs are absolutely silent and motionless unless otherwise indicated. Okay, so we're going to keep that. And then Doc's line, good evening, Lieutenant Shrank. I and Tony was just cleaning up. All right, so you're not thrilled that Shrank's coming in. Shrank lifting up a pack of cigarettes. Do you mind? Doc says, I have no mind. I'm the village idiot. He lights up. I always make it a rule to smoke in the cannon. What else is a room full of half-breeds in it, eh, Riff? So, says Bernardo's move is checked by Riff, but Riff's not necessarily going to be on that side. So I'm not sure who it's going to be, but probably Chino can check Bernardo's move towards Shrank. So Shrank, what you'll do is you'll move to the center where Tony was. So we've got, oh God. We've got this set up here. Now we have everyone interspersed in different places. Those are supposed to be X's. Anyway, so Shrank, what you'll do is when you enter, you'll kind of come a little bit more downstage of everyone. Okay, you're going to command this area right here. That's where you're going to light up. So you're going to deliver this little speech here, right there. And the point of that is, I don't really want you looking at any of them. Shrank doesn't care. He's just going to keep his face out to the audience as he delivers this. Okay, he's going to get the sharks out of there. Okay, he's going to say, beat it. And I want there to be, so that at the end of that sentence there, it says, it's tough all over. Okay, have a beat there, and then say, beat it. Okay, so as if you're just standing out, face down stage. You say it's tough all over. You notice you don't hear any shuffling. And then at that point, after a beat, you can turn to the sharks. Not all the way, but just turn your head stage right. Beat it, right? Then Riff nods once to Bernardo, who nods to his gang. Slowly they file out. Bernardo starts to whistle My Country 'Tis of Thee as he exits proudly. All right, so do you guys know how to whistle My Country 'Tis of Thee, sharks?
Yes.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
So then you'll do that on the way out, and then all the sharks exit there. Okay.
Is there a length that you want that song whistled to?
Just until you're off.
Okay.
It can just kind of fade out, just long enough to where we as an audience hear what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bernardo will start it. The others will join in as you're exiting, and then you'll just slowly fade out. Good question. All right. Shrank still in its place says from their angle, sure. Say, where's the rumble going to be? Oh, look, I know regular Americans don't rub with gold teeth. Otherwise, the river, the park. It says silence, so you'll have a beat there. I'm for you. I want. All right, so Shrank on this particular line, that's going to be your motivation to move up stage a little bit. All right, so God, can't draw a straight line for my life. All right, so there's that flat. Now, Shrank, you're going to be down here while the gangs are up in this area. So on this line, from their angle, sure. Say, where's the rumble going to be? All right, and then after that line, where's the rumble going to be? All right, now this is your chance to kind of move upstage towards the jets that are left over. Ah, look, I know. Regular Americans don't rub with the gold teeth otherwise. The river, the park. All right, so now you're kind of in between the jets that are left. Okay, and you can look around at them now. You're trying to be their pal. I'll even lend a hand if it gets rough. Where are you gonna rumble? The playground, Sweeney's lot. Okay. And then another beat there as you look around, waiting for them to answer. And then this next line here is a little bit explosive. You get pissed off, right? You think I'm a lousy stool pigeon? All right. Now you start insulting them. How's your old man's DTs, Arab? How's the action of your mother's mattress action? All right. So at this point, you can use this space up here in between the jets to deliver these lines. Okay, so this is going to be your chance to kind of own that space as they sit in silence. Okay, you're going to be walking around to each one of them. How's your old man's DT? Your old man's DTs, Arab? Go to action. How's the action on your mother's mattress? Action. Right? Action lunges for him, but is tripped by Riff. Shrank Kirch's court. I don't know what that word means. Corches low. Crouches, I think, is maybe what it's meant to say. Crouches low? All right, so the way I want that to look is, so action, I mean, action's pissed off at that insult, right? So he's going to get up towards him. I don't necessarily want him tripped by Riff. But I do want somebody kind of holding him back. And then Shrank says, let him go, buddy boy. Just let him go. Okay, so it says their Diesel's holding him back, but whoever's nearest action. One of these days there won't be nobody to hold you. And then after a brief standoff there, so after Shrank's line, one of these days there won't be nobody to hold you. I want kind of a standoff between action and Shrank, where Shrank is thinking, come on, go for it. And then Riff realizes that, you know, it's time to leave. All right. So Riff starts for the door. He kind of gestures to the others to follow him, and then they exit. And as they go, Shrank says, "I'll find you where you go. I'll find out where you're going to rumble, but be sure to finish each other off, because if you don't, I will." Okay. And Riff has stayed at the door until the others have passed through, and looks at Shrank and cockily saunters out. Okay. So Shrank is left there after the jets have all exited. Tony's left behind as well. And then Shrank looks up to Doc, who's at the counter. Well, you keep hoodlums in line and see what it does to you. And then he leaves. And then Doc says, wouldn't give me a mouth like his, after Doc leaves. Okay. All right. That was a lot. So, questions so far? All right. If not, let's go back to the bottom of page 52 and let's hear these lines. Okay, so Riff, whenever you're ready.
Set him up, Doc. Cokes all around.
Let's get down to business.
Bernardo hasn't learned the procedures of gracious living.
I don't like you. I don't like you either. So cut it.
Kick it, Doc.
Boys, couldn't you maybe all talk it?
Kick it. We challenge you to a rumble. All out. Once and for all. Except?
On what terms?
Whatever terms you're calling, buddy boy. You cross the line once too often.
You started it.
Who jumped Arab this afternoon?
Who jumped me the first day I moved here?
Who asked you to move here?
Pepe? Oh, Hang on. Oh, Zoe, I'm giving that line. So, Jeremiah, you're Indio, right? Zoe, I'm going to have you say Pepe's lines. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sorry, I forgot to tell you that.
that's okay.
All right, let's move back to move back to Bernardo's on what terms?
Let me find it. Sorry. On what terms?
Whatever terms you're calling, buddy boy. You cross the line once too often.
And you started it.
Who jumped Arab this afternoon?
Who jumped me the first day I moved here?
Who asked you to move here?
Who asked you?
Move where you're wanted.
Hey,
That's cool.
Oh, is Cole not here? All right. Back where you came from.
Mix.
WAP.
We accept.
Time.
Tomorrow?
After dark. Place.
The park?
The river.
Under the highway.
Weapon.
Hey, Doc.
Weapons.
Weapons.
You call.
Your challenge.
Afraid to call.
Sticks.
Rocks.
Poles.
Cans.
Bricks.
Bats.
Clubs.
Chains.
Bottles, knives, guns. What a coop full of chickens.
Who are you calling chicken?
Every dog knows his own.
I'm calling all of you chicken. The big, tough buddy boys have to throw bricks. Afraid to get close in, afraid to slug it out, afraid to use plain skin.
Not even garbage?
That ain't a rumble.
Who says?
You said call weapons.
A rumble can be clinched by a fair fight. If you have the guts to risk that. Best man from each gang to slug it out.
I'd enjoy to risk that. Okay, fair fight.
What?
No!
The commanders say yes or no. Fair fight.
In 2 minutes, you would be like a fish after skinning.
Your best man fights our best man, and we pick him.
But I thought I would be.
We shook on it, Bernardo.
Yes. I shook on it.
Look, Bernardo, if you want to change your mind, maybe we could all, I don't know, like maybe.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Or what? Oh no, that's the whistle, right?
Yeah.
Good evening, Lieutenant Schrank. I and Tony was just closing up. Is he there?
Mind?
I have no mind. I'm the village idiot.
I always make it a rule to smoke in the can. What else is a room with half-breeds in it, eh, Riff? Clear out, Spix. Sure, it's a free country and I ain't got the right, but it's a country with laws and I can find the right. I got the badge, you got the skin. It's tough all over. Beat it. From their angle, sure. Say, where's the rumble gonna be? Look, I know regular Americans don't rub with the gold teeth. Otherwise, the river, the park. I'm for you. I want this beat cleaned up and you can do it for me. I'll even lend a hand if it gets rough. Now, where you gonna rumble? The playground? Sweeney's lot. You think I'm a lousy stool pigeon? I want to help you get rid of them. Come on, where's it gonna be? Well, get smart, you stupid hoodlums. I ought to fine you for litter in the streets. You ought to be taken down the station house and have your skull smashed to a pulp. You and the tin horn immigrant scum you come from. How's your old man's DTs, Arab? How's the action on your mother's mattress? Action? Let him go, buddy boy. Just let him go. One of these days, there won't be nobody to hold you. Now, I'll find out where you're going to rumble, but be sure to finish each other off, because if you don't, I will. Well, you try keeping Hootens in line, see what it does to you.
Wouldn't give me a mouth like his.
Forget him. Okay, sorry.
All right, couple notes. So on those, so on page 55, after Riff says afraid to call, sticks, rocks, poles, cans, bricks, bats, clubs, chains. All right, so what I'd like to hear happen there is with each word you get a little bit louder, and also with each word you get a little bit faster. All right, so Bernardo says sticks, way to beat Riff, and they say rocks, poles, cans, bricks, bats, clubs, chains, bottles, and then that's when Tony's going to jump in and say bottles, knives, guns. Okay, he's going to finish that as he kind of makes his way into the middle, and it's going to be that. And then Tony, you're going to have to deliver that with a lot of energy, loud. Okay, what coop full of chickens? All right, so make a note of that on those lines, Bernardo and Riff. Okay. And then action. After Bernardo's line, who jumped me the first day I moved here? I'm gonna want an even bigger pause there. It's actually gonna feel uncomfortable. So like,
Okay.
4 or 5 seconds. Pause. All right. And then, so Shrank, give the sharks some time to whistle "My Country 'Tis of Thee" before you start their line from their angle. Sure.
Okay.
All right, and so Bernardo and Riff, I really want to hear some intensity behind these words, right? I mean, you guys are getting ready to rumble. I mean, this is what you do. This is what it all comes down to, and we need to feel that energy beneath each of these lines as you deliver them. They've got to be. These lines we have to feel the energy, and they have to be purposeful. Okay, most of these aren't questions, they're statements, and we've got to feel that behind each word. So just keep that in mind, keep that intensity up through each of these lines that you guys have. I mean, that goes for most everyone in this scene. Okay. So I really want to pick up on that energy between this scene, because it's a very important scene. And when Shrank comes in, whew, yeah, there's a lot of emotion here, and we got to feel that. All right, let's do that again. Take those notes and let's hear it. All right, so riff whenever you're ready. Gavin, you have a question?
Yeah, I don't have any lines. Is it okay if I go eat dinner?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You got your blocking down?
Yeah.
All right, good. Yep. Anybody else in that category? Okay. All right, good. Oh, and Christine, could you read Arab's lines?
Yes, let me get, what page are we on? Sorry.
50, bottom of 52.
52. Okay, script. All right.
All right, riff whenever you're ready.
Set him up, Doc. Cokes all around.
Let's get down to business.
Bernardo hasn't learned the procedures of gracious living.
I don't like you either, so cut it.
Kick it, Doc.
Boys, couldn't you maybe all talk it
Kick
out?
it.
On what terms?
Whatever terms you're calling, buddy boy. You cross the line once too often.
You started it.
Who jumped Arab this afternoon?
Who jumped me the first day I moved here?
Who asked you to move here?
Who asked you?
Move where you wanted.
Back where you came from.
Spix.
Mix.
WAP.
We accept.
Time.
Tomorrow.
After dark. Place.
The park.
The river.
Under the highway.
Weapon.
Hey, Doc.
Weapons.
Weapons.
You call.
Your challenge.
Afraid to call.
Sticks.
Rocks.
Poles.
Cans.
Bricks.
Bats.
Clubs.
Chains.
Bottles, knives, guns. What a coop full of chickens.
Who you calling chicken?
Every dog knows his own.
I'm calling all of you chicken. The big, tough buddy boys have to throw bricks. Afraid to get close in, afraid to slug it out, afraid to use plain skin.
Not even garbage?
That ain't a rumble.
Who says?
You said call weapons.
A rumble can be clinched by a fair fight. If you have the guts to risk that. Best man from each gang to slug it out.
I'd enjoy to risk that. Okay.
What?
Fair fight.
No.
What?
The commanders say yes or no. Fair fight.
In 2 minutes, you will be like a fish after skinning.
Your best man fights our best man, and we pick him.
But I thought I would be.
We shook on it, Bernardo.
Yes, I shook on it.
Look, Bernardo, if you want to change your mind, maybe we could all
Good evening, Lieutenant Schrank. I and Tony was just closing up.
Mind?
I have no mind. I'm the village idiot.
I always make it a rule to smoke in the can. What else is a room with half-breeds in it, eh, Riff? Clear out, Spix. Sure, it's a free country and I ain't got the right, but it's a country with laws and I can find the right. I got the badge and you got the skin. It's tough all over. Beat it. From their angle, sure. Say, Where's the rumble gonna be? Ah, look, I know regular Americans don't rub with the gold teeth otherwise. The river? The park? I'm for you. I want this beat cleaned up and you can do it for me. I'll even lend a hand if it gets rough. Where you gonna rumble? The playground? Sweeney's lot? Do you think I'm a lousy stool pigeon? I want to help you get rid of them. Come on, where's it gonna be? Get smart, you stupid hoodlums. I ought to fine you for littering the streets. You ought to be taken down the station house and have your skulls mashed to a pulp. You and that tin horn immigrant scum you come from. How's your old man's DTs, Arab? How's the action on your mother's mattress action? Let him go, buddy boy. Just let him go. One of these days, there won't be nobody to hold you. I'll find out where you're gonna rumble, but you better be sure to finish each other off, because if you don't, I will. Well, you try keeping hoodlums in line and see what it does to you.
Wouldn't give me a mouth like his.
All right, good. All right. All right, so Riff, that line you have where on top of page 53, Bernardo hasn't learned procedures of gracious living. So you kind of saying that back to your boys, and it's a joke. I mean, it's an insult, but kind of give it a little laugh there. You're making fun of him, and your gang's gonna, you know, they're gonna like that you said that. All right, so other than that, good. Still need a little bit more intensity. And remember, guys, Riff and Bernardo, those, I know it's hard on Zoom, but I want that sticks, rocks, pulls thing to start off slower and then become louder and faster. Okay. So keep that in mind. All right. Otherwise, good. The only other thing I'll say, Hal, is that I like what you're doing with this. The most important thing in this whole monologue is that the contrast of your mood changes from 0 to 100 right there before you think I'm a lousy stool pigeon. And you've got that. So, but just to reiterate, the contrast between what you've said before that and what you say then is going to be like you've turned into a different person, right? You get that.
Yep.
All right. So, then if
Me
all
and
right,
Tony.
So, yeah, if you're not Doc or Tony, you guys are done. So, but any other questions on that scene before you guys leave?
I just want to make sure I got all the blocking for the Jets. We sort of, I think we mostly stand in the same spot as we ended Cool in until we sort of disperse after the whistle, right? Or like mix around after the whistle.
Yeah, you mix around after the whistle.
Okay, and then that's pretty much it, right? We don't really do much moving around in that scene.
After Shrank comes in, no.
Okay.
You guys are just sitting there in silence, frozen, except for, I think, action when he lunges at him, right? And then one other thing, so for those of you in Cool, if I think I said this on band, but you guys are singing that last part of Cool. So Riff sings that first part, and then you guys go into the dance. But then at the end, you're going to repeat what he already said. So boy, boy, crazy boy, stay loose, boy, breeze it, buzz it, easy does it. So it's in, what I failed to realize is it's in the music, but it's not in the script. So just note that. you guys will be singing that last part of Cool. Okay. But it's in the music if you take a look back in the music. That was Luke who brought that to my attention, right? Yeah. All right. Good. All right. So yeah, if you're not Doc or Tony, you guys are good to go unless you have questions. I will see you all next time. Good job.
Have a good night, guys. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
All right, Doc and Tony, how we doing?
Sup? Hi ho.
Yeah, what was
Hey,
that
ho.
about, Christine?
You,
You
had a
said,
typo.
"Hello, everyone."
Instead of hi, you said ho, and so then we just. That was the first time I've seen anyone actually like
I
engage
did?
on the.
Yeah, you did. You
I
said,
made a
"Ho,"
mistake.
You actually, well, you do that quite often, but that's okay. You wrote, "Ho, everyone."
Okay. Hold
I
on.
was just glad to see people actually interacting with each other. Like no one ever comments on anything or does anything.
No,
So
yeah, I think everyone's afraid to like comment on
they're
stuff.
they're so quiet.
Hopefully we're warming up.
Yeah.
But no, I was sorry. I didn't know what was going on with my Zoom, so I just like typed that in real fast. Didn't even notice.
You were focused. We were being hosed, so don't worry about it.
I mean, we're all hoes a little bit sometimes, though, right? All right, so the Jets leave, Shrank leaves. We're just left with Doc and Tony. I wouldn't give a mouth, or I wouldn't give me a mouth like his. It wouldn't give me a mouth like his, is what Doc says, right? And so Doc, that's to Tony, who's left behind.
Am I still behind? Am I still behind the thing when I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So basically what you guys are doing in this scene, it's pretty simple. It's not very long. But you're just your business is kind of just cleaning up. So Bryant, there'll be a stool that maybe you can kind of, that somebody has been using. There might be a couple of them, and you can kind of just maybe move those, close to the bar or back to where they were. Doc, again, you'll have a towel. You'll be wiping things down as you guys have this conversation. And you can pause from the work that you're doing to say your lines and to think and, just be natural about this. But so when Doc says that, it wouldn't give me a mouth like his. That's to Tony. Tony acknowledges it. Forget him. From here on in, everything goes my way. All right. So Tony, you can start to clean stuff up, push those stools back in. You think it'll really be a fair fight? Yeah. So on that line, Doc, you could be just wiping something down. Like, this is a pretty innocuous question. You think it'll be a fair fight? Tony says, yeah. That's kind of a surprise to you, or not really a surprise, but like at that point, then you would stop and be like, what have you been taking tonight? And then that's Tony going to be a good place to stop, and then just maybe turn out downstage and kind of now you're kind of daydreaming. A trip to the moon, and I'll tell you a secret. Isn't a man that's up there, Doc. It's a girl, a lady. And then so you've done what you needed to do, and then you're gonna go stage right to the exit there, and you say, well, buenas noches, senor. Buenas noches. So that's why you made it fair fight. So you'll deliver. Yeah. So Tony, you're at the door at this point. Tony, things aren't tough enough. Tough, Doc? I'm in love. So you're just standing at the door having this conversation with them now. How do you know? Because there isn't any other way I could feel. And you're not frightened? Should I be? And then he leaves. And then after Tony's exited, that's when Doc says, why? I'm frightened enough for the both of you. And then lights out on that. All right, good. Questions? All right, so let's read through that.
Wouldn't give me a mouth like his.
Forget him. From here on in, everything goes my way.
You really think it'll be a fair fight?
Yeah.
What have you been taking tonight?
A trip to the moon. And I'll tell you a secret. It isn't a man that's up there, Doc. It's a girl. A lady. Well, buenos noches, senor.
Buenas noches. So that's why you made it a fair fight. Tony, things aren't tough enough.
Tough? Doc, I'm in love.
How do you know?
Because there isn't any other way I could feel.
You're not frightened?
Should I be?
Why? I'm frightened enough for both of you.
All right, good. That was really good. Tony, on those two last lines that you say, because there isn't any other way I could feel, and then also should I be, I kind of want you to have like a glowing smile on your face, because there isn't any other way I could feel, right? You're just kind of, I mean, you're in love, right? And then Doc says, and you're not frightened? Should I be? And then exit. So just, yes, and you just, you've got hearts in your eyes. That's what it is. But other than that, that was really good. Do you guys want to do it one more time?
Sure.
Okay.
Wouldn't give me a mouth like his.
Forget him. From here on in, everything goes my way.
I really think it'll be a fair fight. I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry. You think it'll really be a fair fight?
Yeah.
What have you been taking tonight?
A trip to the moon. And I'll tell you a secret. It isn't a man that's up there, Doc. It's a girl. A lady. Well.
Okay. Sorry, I hate to interrupt you. So it's a girl. A slight pause there, and then like really think about Maria. A lady, or I don't know if I delivered that as good as you can, but you know, just the point is like she's not just a girl, and you realize it at that moment. It's a girl, a lady, right? And so just kind of let there be a beat between those. So
okay.
All right, so Doc, back up to your line. What have you been taking tonight?
What have you been taking tonight?
A trip to the moon. And I'll tell you a secret. It isn't a man that's up there, Doc. It's a girl. A lady. Well, buenos noches, senor.
Buenas noches. So that's why you made it a fair fight. Tony, things aren't tough enough.
Tough? Doc, I'm in love.
How do you know?
Because there isn't any other way I could feel.
And you aren't frightened?
Should I be?
Why, I'm frightened enough for both of you.
Ah, so good, you guys.
That was good. That was really good. Fantastic. All right, good. Well done. Any questions from the two of you? No? All right, fantastic job tonight. Well done. And yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, no concerns, comments, I will see you next time.
Proud of you both.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Night.